Hello, and welcome back to the main story branch of Pugmire Pioneer Puppers. This is episode 35.
Jesus Christ, we have made it this far.
We're getting up there in age.
Gesundheit?
That was him laughing.
Oh, I thought you were sneezing for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I can never tell if a person's sneezing or coughing or anything. You know, it's just safe to be safe, you know? Anyways, Pugmire.
Yes, Pugmire.
Woo!
So, we were discussing last time that there was a few things to get wrapped up before we start on the feet.
Hey, Talon.
Yes.
Is this the Baldur's Gate opening?
I don't honestly know. I just looked up copyright-free RPG music.
Well, it has a.
It sounds very similar.
It might be. I'm not saying it's not.
Okay, Talon, cool. Thank you. I just need to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Sorry, kiddo, what are you trying to say?
It has a similar-ish melody to like
It
the
is.
Tokyo Ghoul intro as well.
I hope there's not a bunch of copyrighted stuff on here, because I literally specifically searched for copyright-free stuff.
Well, it might be like
It's fine. Let's just pretend we hear nothing in the background that sounds even remotely copyright.
Right, cut this part of the segment.
I was gonna get sassy and
Let's just
say fight
skip it
YouTube,
before
but
we
that
get in
sounds like it'd be
trouble.
bad.
We'll just skip it before we get in trouble.
Yeah. Nothing happened. Yeah, redo it. That never happened. Like,
Yup.
mm-hmm.
It's not the first time I've had to mute the music in this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Talon, after this, I am going to send you the opening so you can know what I mean.
Oh, I've heard it. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
but
just,
I don't-
it was a slowed down orchestral version, so I didn't recognize it at first.
Oh, I got it right.
You did.
Oh my god, I'm a genius. Hell
I would
yeah.
never have known what the music was because, again, I have to have mine turned down or else I can't hear anybody for some reason.
Yup.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think that has to deal with something with it being that I'm using, like, my phone for Discord and,
Yeah,
you know.
it absolutely could be, because the phone just muddies the audio.
But for some reason, whenever I connect my earbuds to the computer, you guys can't hear me, like, at all.
We need
And
to get
then
you non-earbuds. We need to get
Yeah,
you,
we need a
like,
headset.
plug in.
I do need a headset, but I just keep pushing.
Well, I have a headset, but my microphone fell off of it.
Yep. Which, he's using my standalone mic.
Yeah.
I probably should look up good ones to use. I feel like it would be better to get like a mic and headset,
I
but
mean,
like
the ones from Walmart are actually pretty decent. The on ones.
If you want to spend a little more, I recommend the Fifth like, microphones.
Yep, those are good too.
They're still, yeah, they're very reasonably priced, which is what I have. They're very reasonably priced, but they're very high quality as well.
as long as whatever can work with my Chromebook, that is all that matters to me.
But yeah, take it away, Talon.
Yeah, so as we were talking last time, there were a few things we needed to wrap up before starting the feat and getting into the main crux of the story. So, I believe the first thing that was mentioned was that Rosabella and Luke need to go on a date.
They need to go to their coffee shop.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Wait, no, this isn't a family thing, is it?
Nope.
Thank God!
They need to go on their first
they've
ever
already
date.
been on a date! They've already been on a date!
They have.
You need to go meet
gotta
his
go to-
dad.
Yep.
Wait, that's today?
Yep.
Yep. Either way.
What else?
Talon.
What else needs to go? What else? Anybody else
No, this is an excuse for me to go and eat my green beans. Take it away, Talon.
So yes, as you do know that Luke's father is a noble. He never technically married, so Luke's considered illegitimate, although he is technically the heir to his father's position.
Yeah.
So yes, bright and early in the morning, around, let's say, 8:30-ish in the morning, a lovely, luxurious carriage comes rolling down the manor driveway.
Which I already assumed that Rosabella is probably fully awake and dressed at this point because the maids would not let her not be.
You would probably keep to your normal schedule as usual, up probably just after the sun is.
Let's face it, Rosabella actually probably did not even, like, really sleep because she's like, I have to meet his dad.
Yep. So, while
You have to do the official meeting.
Yes, this is
Not-
the
yeah.
official meeting.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
While the Pomeranian household does have nice carriages, they aren't built for luxury. They're built more for utility.
Oh.
This is luxurious. Like, there are cloth coatings hanging down the sides of the carriage. Even the driver's seat is padded.
I'd like to think that Rosabella is looks out the window, sees it, and turns to a maid and just, her ears kind of flatten a little bit. She's just, do I really gotta do this?
I mean, you were invited to officially meet his father, although you did meet him at the ball. This is more of a prospective meeting. Think of it like a business interview.
Business, I can do that. Business, I can do that, right? I can do that. Which I bet this, like, for Rosabella's character, her being like this is not usual at all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take it long to make it down the quarter-mile driveway as it parks in front of the house. The curtains on the side are rolled up, and the first thing that would come to anyone's notice is that it has a mural painted on the side.
Because of course it does. With it being Luke and all.
Yep. Apparently, the family is actually very proud of their artistic traditions.
I love that. Support. I love that so much. Okay.
Yep. The footman steps down and will carefully walk to the door. There is a small hesitation as he is looking at the manor around him. Because technically, the Pomeranian family and household outranks his master by 2 steps.
Oh.
I think Rosabella will wait for him to knock because I feel like that would probably be the smartest thing to do. I don't know. Because Rosabella's not used to this at all, so she doesn't know. She's working in new territory at the current moment.
I feel like Alexandria is definitely not up because it is far too early in the morning for her. But I do feel like she might have given Rosabella maybe a little bit of a debriefing on etiquette the night before.
Okay, what's that debriefing then?
Hey Talon, can I roll like a skill here? Because I think it's polite to wait for him to come and...
This would be a society kind of thing, but this would also be a flashback, so let me double check.
Would you let me say it's no history? Or
Culture or history would work, because there are historical, historical, what's the word I'm looking for here? No, that's not the right word.
Are you more
Precedences?
proficient in history, or are you?
It's just Alexander is proficient in history, not culture.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, yes, there are historical precedences.
What does a 17 get me, Talon?
You are able to go through the forms of address, basically you give her the grade school version of the rundown. Like
she definitely did make Rosabella. Yeah, she also made Rosabella practice. Like, genuinely made her practice. Like, the same lessons that Alexandria had to go through.
Yeah.
Like, just speed mode.
Yeah, this is the condensed version. It's not the completely in the, like, everything that a full noble has to know. It's more like the, this is a commoner meeting a noble, even though Rosabella is a baroness.
Listen, she hasn't always been.
No, she hasn't.
She has not. This is a very new role for her.
Yeah, I do think, like, at some point during that, there was just a moment where Alexandria just, right, and you realize, once we handle everything that we need to handle going forward, you are beginning to take etiquette lessons, correct?
I guess I have to.
Don't worry, I will handle getting it set up, but for now...
You know, on one hand, I feel like I'd be more comfortable with you teaching me, but I'm kind of glad if you find somebody else to do it.
What exactly do you mean?
Plus, I don't want to get angry at you if I get something wrong. I like to imagine Rosabella's ears throughout that whole conversation are kind of flat, and she just kind of like is hunched a little bit because it's, again, uncomfortable territory. Uncomfortable and unknown.
I'm dying. I do think that at that point, Alexandria will just reach out and kind of place like a hand on Rosabella's shoulder and give just a gentle squeeze. Well, if you were to get upset at me, I would not blame you for it. It can be quite a frustrating situation. However, I will handle getting you a tutor, and in the aftermath, well, you can confide in me and we can practice.
Okay, that sounds better.
For now, however, you have the basics. I believe in you to make a wonderful official impression. And she'll just kind of give her another little squeeze and then walk out. I like to watch it like kind of fades.
We did all that, but that didn't answer. Should she open the door?
No, you don't have to make... So, coming back to the present day, after the footman makes his second knock, Sebastian is already opening the door.
Okay. Okay, Rosabella probably would, like, look towards where Sebastian is, and her ears kind of, like, she straightens herself up more, because she's like, okay, head tall, stand tall. It'll be okay.
So, this is a rare Rosabella wearing a dress circumstance.
Yeah. I bet she looks cute, though.
Oh, she definitely looks adorable.
Actually, hey, you want to find a dress for her to be wearing?
Me?
Because let's face it, Alexandria would have dressed her.
Yeah, let's let this moment go. I'm gonna go look at dresses, guys. I'll be back.
You're fine. As you are being escorted out, you are also... Sebastian will hand you a parasol, a hand fan, and one of those small little clutch bags.
She just looks at him and just... Thank you.
He leans in and whispers, "Your hammer is in the bag, just in case."
She just smiles brightly and just, thank you.
Yeah. Have a wonderful time, my lady.
Oh, wish me more luck than anything.
Of course. Okay, I am going to have to change the music, so give me 1 minute.
Yep, take your time.
Hey, Talon, how formal of a meeting is this? Alexandria would be aware. Is it like more just
Oh
like
my
a
god.
casual sit down, or would it be like a very formal, need to be a little more formal kind of meeting?
It's an informal but a proper meeting.
Understood.
So,
Thank you.
this is technically this would be the meeting when the father and the mother would come and speak with the prospective father-in-law meeting. But since that is out of the question, this is more of a she is meeting the family for the first time.
Mm.
I was gonna say, that last outfit you had sent in general, uh,
Mm-hmm.
something like that's really cute. I think Rosabella would like something like that. But
Well,
like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do like the idea that Alexandria and Rosabella probably at some point in their life have accidentally bought the same outfit.
Oh, absolutely.
but this is also that's in the future. This is not now.
We'll just say like it's like a
So,
very similar style to that. Maybe like that same like flowy skirt, but maybe instead of like the kind of sweater type vibe she's wearing, I can see Rosabella very much being like a proper button up kind of lady.
See, I could see Rosabella in like a peasant's dress.
Looking that up. I also want to say Alexandria would have probably put her in red because I feel like red looks fucking striking on Rosabella. Hmm.
kind of like the okay, hold on. I might have something here.
I think I found something that I think is really cute. I keep coughing, sorry.
You're good.
Um
So that is my idea.
mm, mm, I'm thinking maybe something a little more like this vibe.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Jess?
Okay, I really like that one. I really like the one you sent.
Thank you. It's also something Alexandria would pick. So that is what she's currently wearing. That really pretty like off the shoulder look with like the like not ruffling isn't the proper word for it, but the bunching of the fabric over top, like
Yes,
the way it like
it's
goes into
easy
the
to move
silhouette of her
around in
waist.
too.
Yeah. Which would also probably be like the one stipulation Rosabella had for
Yep,
Alexandria.
able to
Just
move around.
I have to move. I have to be able to fight if this situation comes up. I don't think it'll come up. I'm not saying it'll come up, but if it ever does come up, because it has come up before.
Rosabella, do you believe that they're going to jump you the moment that you arrive at their house?
I never said that they would.
Fair enough. I was sure that you can move in it.
Okay.
And we can flash back to the current where Rosabella is dressed so pretty.
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
Her hair
I
is.
do want to say the only thing is Alexandria because she has her mother's pearls. I want to say like the necklace is Alexandria's mother's pearl necklace
Oh, absolutely.
for good luck.
But yeah, Rosabella, your fur has been brushed and groomed out as best as possible because you are a fluffy dog. It is hard to get all the shedding out.
You never actually get all the shedding out, but
No, no, you don't. But it is as taken care of as possible.
yes.
So yes, you are. The footman steps back, and Sebastian will actually escort you out to the carriage, about a step
Okay.
behind the footman. Um, the entire time Sebastian is walking you to the carriage, he is giving you advice and basically, he's taking on the role of the father for you in this instance, which is
Stop it! I'm gonna cry.
yeah, it's actually quite heartwarming and comforting. Basically, he's telling you don't have to be on guard while you're here. Just treat them as you would the rest of the family. This is a normal occurrence for nobility. This is actually not a formal meeting, it is informal, and from what I do know of this particular family, the Bernards are quite friendly and emphatic. The worst thing you may have to worry about is that you will be bear hugged considerably by the entire family.
Yeah, I'm also not used to that, so.
That is understandable. Try not to be on guard. This is. Let's just say that the Bernard family is known for being very jovial and friendly. They are one of the few families in Pugmire that has no enemies.
Rosabella smiles and just, I'll keep all that in mind. I'll try to be more relaxed.
Yes. And do have fun. And he will gently take your paw and help you into the carriage. And he will turn to the footman, give a respectable butler's bow, look him dead in the eyes, and say, "She is precious to everyone in this household. Guard her with your life." And will turn on his heels and walk back into the house.
I think this might be the most emotion we've seen from Sebastian.
Probably.
Here's the thing: is I feel like his emotion comes by in like the smallest little moments, but when it does, dear God,
It just like
I
is
love him.
gripping my heart.
I know. The only other time we've seen him be emotional, it's both been like very protective little speeches, which is so sweet.
Oh,
Because like he did the same thing back at the ball.
he did for
He
Alexandria.
loves, yeah, he loves his girls. Even if he'll never admit it.
Oh, I'm sure he would admit it, but like they would have to ask the right questions.
Yes. But yeah, Rosabella, as you climb into the carriage, it's like an art easel exploded in here. It looks like a Jackson Pollock painting, and not one of the recognizable ones, but like one of the ones where he was on a LSD trip.
Rosebella's just, oh, this will take some getting used to, huh? She's just smiling because this is so different than what she thought her life would be. But like for her, this is just, it's nice. A bit overwhelming, but nice.
So it's about a half-hour drive to get to the manor of the Bernards.
Mm,
The first thing that comes to your attention is the gate.
uh-huh.
It is an old school picket fence with each piece of the fence being painted a different color. And there is a stained glass window in the front of the house with a bright light behind it actually painting out a family portrait of the Bernards on the front lawn.
It seems so extra.
It is not
Cute.
as long of a drive as to the Pomeranian household. It's only about an eighth of a mile. So it
Mm,
takes about 5.5 minutes to actually reach the end. As soon as you step out, being helped down by the footman,
mm,
there is the sound of running feet, audible behind the large front door, as the door is thrown open, and what looks to be maybe a 7 or 8-year old Saint Bernard comes running out on all fours and just leaps into your arms.
Rosabella instinctively opens, like, catches, but, like, she's holding this child, and it's just kind of like, her eyes are a little wide, and she's kind of looking around like, what do I do?
About 30 seconds later, you hear another running of feet as you hear a very, very winded Luke yelling, Maisie, come on! That is not proper. Oh, he literally slides to a stop at the doorway and starts walking sedately, but in a hurry, as he. I apologize about that. This is my younger sister, Maisie. She is very excited to meet you. it,
Rosabella kind of tightens her grip a little bit, like, she wasn't holding, like, as tight before, but she tightens her grip a little bit, like, holding Maisie, and just kind of cocks her head a little bit to look at her and just, so your name's Maisie, huh?
yes,
That's a
yes.
beautiful name.
Her tail is going a mile a minute.
Rosabella's eyes crinkle a little bit with her smile, and she just, well, it's very wonderful to meet you.
So as you're looking into her eyes, you notice something unlike the normal Saint Bernard brown eyes. She has heterochromia. She has one blue and one brown eye.
Well, you have some beautiful eyes there, dear.
You do too.
Rosabella's eyes kind of widen a little bit, but then she just kind of giggles and, like, sets her down.
Yeah, she immediately takes your hand and starts walking.
Rosabella just looks at Luke and just kind of shrugs and follows.
He is just face palming like, I try to be more restrained, but my family are very energetic. We are each artists in our own way. My father was forbidden from marrying Mother because she's a commoner, and our grandfather was a bit of a stickler for the whole nobility thing. So Mother is a pianist, Father is a classical landscapist, and Maisie, I do wood burning.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. You'll have to show me.
Yes. Grandfather, he actually points up to the stained glass window, worked with stained glass.
It's beautiful.
So, this is what they call the Artist's Reverie. That is the name of our manor.
Mm.
And I won't bore you with the details, but the Bernards have been artists and medical professionals for generations.
I like to think that Roosevelt, because I was imagining that she's still walking hand in hand with
Oh,
Maisie.
absolutely.
Because is Luke, like, right, kind of right behind her?
Yeah,
Like,
he is beside you.
okay. Roosevelt will just kind of turn her gaze to him and just, you'll have to tell me the whole story later. Another day.
I will absolutely tell you everything. Uh, the well, the servants are taking care of the coffee and the snacks. Father is, well, let's just say he's trying to pick out his outfit. He has basically gone through his wardrobe twice, and, well, Mother has been composing a song to play for you this entire time.
They didn't have to go through that much trouble.
This is the bare minimum for them.
Should I expect that from you in the future?
I mean, considering the way I asked you out on our first date.
Oh, you got a point. Rosabella kind of just giggles a little bit and just shakes her head, but she turns to him and just, her body language softens the longer she stays, like, the longer that they're walking and talking. She just, her, like, shoulders, which were kind of tight at the beginning, are, like, more relaxed and her posture is more relaxed. Like, she's still held, like, proper, but she's holding herself comfortably now. She's not as stressed out, so that's a good thing.
Yep. So he is giving you, well, Maisie is giving you the tour as he is actually giving you the explanations. It is an artist's dream in here. There is absolute perfect lighting coming in through every single window. Like, every window has been set up to give perfect lighting. The main hall is absolutely resonant, which is why you could hear the footsteps so easily. Everything has been set up in such a way that there's just it's an artist's dream, which kind of makes sense for the name of the house.
Very true. I love that.
It doesn't take too long before you are eventually taken to the study, where
Oh,
Luke
okay.
will knock on the door and, "Father, are you ready yet?" And you hear, yes, I'm prepared. Alright, we will be down in the dining room waiting on you then. Come on, Maisie." And he will lead Maisie, who will drag you along down to the dining room.
She has been chosen, by the way. She has just
Oh,
been chosen by this little girl.
absolutely.
Who cares about anybody else's opinion of her?
So, as you are taken to the dining room, you are sat down, and Maisie, for the first time, lets go of your hand, which, because of the fur on both of you, you didn't realize. As you are seated and lift your wrists, you realize there is a wooden bead bracelet on your right wrist now.
Oh, Isabella kind of just looks at it and she smiles really brightly and looks at Maisie and just, thank you.
She kind of, if she could blush, she would, but she just kind of dips her head and, like, "You're welcome." It is actually quite intricate with the designs and details of the beads, and each one has both letters and symbols on them.
Mm-hmm. Is there any significance to the letters that are on them?
Give me a notice check.
Hold on. Bad.
That is actually enough. As you are looking at it,
Huh?
you lift your wrist a little bit higher, and it rolls down just enough to where on one side it says Luke, and the other side it says Rose.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't
That's so
fit
cute.
your whole name on it.
Isabella just, her smile, like, it's almost like it's a permanent feature on her face right now. Like, she has not smiled like this in a while, where it's just endeared and just, uh, you can tell that it's like when she's lightly touching the bracelet, and looking at the letters and everything, it's perfect.
A few moments after this discovery, there is resonating through the entire manor the sound of a piano slowly and delicately being played. I don't have like a soundtrack or tracking for the piano itself, but imagine something that is akin to Claire de Lune.
Oh, Oh, hit me right with the right song. Oh, Rosabella, I can see would be closing her eyes and listening and just. I'm assuming that's your mother.
It is indeed.
God, that's beautiful.
Luke will actually take a seat next to you, and Mother and Father have been fussing for quite some time, and I'm sure you've been nervous, but they have been wanting to impress you since they heard about you.
Her gaze softens a little bit as she just. I'd feel more comfortable with them just being themselves. I hope they know that.
This is them being themselves. They are flamboyant would be the best word for my family.
Well, I guess this is something I just have to get used to, huh?
Hopefully so. And he kind of smiles at that. After about 4 or 5 minutes, the song is cut off, and a rather attractive but older Malamu and Saint Bernard mix woman in a elegant ice blue, I would say more of a house dress, comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and she will give you a delicate curtsy, and you do see, as she is giving the curtsy, where Maisie's heterochromia comes from.
Oh,
She will take
I'm just screaming.
she will take the secondary head seat, and my name is Eliana. I am Luke's mother, though I'm not officially the lady of the house. I am the lady of the house.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's actually a pleasure to meet you. I've been hearing so much about you. In fact, our boy Luke has not stopped talking about you since he's met you.
Oh, he hasn't, has he?
Yes, he has waxed poetic quite often. And
Rosabella just kind of looks at him and raises an eyebrow, and it
he just
smirks
kind
a
of
little
lowers
bit.
his head. In fact, I believe he has begun collecting the newspaper clippings of your exploits. As
Oh, have
every mother
you?
has to do, she is embarrassing her son.
Mm-hmm. And Rosabella's just leaning right into it. She just, oh, you have you?
Well, they do paint a marvelous picture of you and how heroic you are.
Hmm. I like the way you paint me more.
That can always be arranged.
She just smiles and nods and turns back to his mother and just, well, you have a good boy on your shoulders.
He is a very good boy. And you just hear the thump thump of his tail starting to wag. And about this time, the father will come in. At first, you thought, with all the way he's been fussing, he would be wearing a suit or something more formal. But he is dressed as if he just left an artist studio. Smock covered in paint, splotches of paint all over his fur. And you can tell there's actually a nice outfit under the smock, but the smock kind of ruins it.
You know, honestly, I think Rosabella just feels more comfortable with that because it it feels more natural. Does that make sense? Like it feels
Yeah.
like it's a more comfortable setting for him, so for her, she feels more comfortable with
Yeah,
it.
no, it makes perfect sense. As he sits down at the second head chair, the wife leans over and whispers something to him, and he's, I got nervous and I started painting. lovely to meet you, Lady Rosabella. I am, well, we've met before, so I will not reiterate my name, but I have been looking quite forward to officially meeting you and having you meet the rest of the family.
The pleasure's mine. You have a lovely house, and even lovelier family here.
Yes, that is my two great joys, my family and bringing a little bit of color to the world. After a few minutes of idle conversation, the coffee and the cakes are brought out, and Maisie is too young for coffee, but they do bring her out a cup of cocoa and a decently sized cake.
I love that. I love that so much for her. Please say Rosabella's coffee is black.
It is absolutely black.
Thank God!
Luke has learned your order.
How do they take their coffee, huh?
So, the dad takes his coffee with sugar, mostly black. The mom takes hers with cream and sugar. Luke takes his with cream, no sugar.
Rosabella is very odd.
Not really.
So,
Hey, it fits in just perfectly.
okay, thank God.
Because Luke's not really a sweet tooth, but he does like mellowing out the bitterness. And the
Fair
dad,
enough.
he likes the sugar, he likes the sweets, but he's not bothered by the bitterness. The mom, she doesn't like the coffee that much, so her and Alexandria have a lot in common with their coffee taste.
Hell yeah.
A drop of coffee, all cream.
Yep.
All
And
cream,
sugar.
all sugar. Maybe a little dash of cinnamon if they're feeling exciting. The tiniest little dribble of coffee.
I like to think that for Bayo now, it doesn't taste like coffee. It could taste like water, but it's still coffee because of prestidigitation.
Yup.
She just needs the caffeine.
Yup. So yeah, it is a pleasant afternoon. It actually takes you several hours to go through the meeting and the talking. It's mostly just chit chat, and they are truly lovely people. And the only one that's really made anything awkward other than the mom, yeah.
I meant years, but you know, days fits too.
Right.
Welcome back, Echo.
Did you leave?
My Discord decided to restart itself.
Oh, it does that all the time.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, the only one who's made anything fairly awkward other than Luke's mom picking on him is Maisie, who, before you leave, asks the one question: so when are you getting married? And Luke just
So this is right before they leave, right?
Yeah, Luke kind of turns and stares daggers at her and says, I haven't even proposed yet.
Rosabella just smiles, and like if she could blush, she would be blushing like a little bit. As she just leans down and looks at Luke, but then puts her like paw over her mouth as she whispers to Maisie, like quiet, like so quiet that Luke would not be able to hear it unless she was like leaning down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just says, I guess that really does depend on him, doesn't it?
She just kind of giggles, gives you a little peck on the cheek, and runs off.
Rosabella just shakes her head as she watches her go with a bright smile on her face and turns to him and just, oh, that was fun.
Yes, she is Well, she's rambunctious.
She's adorable.
Try living with her all the time.
She reminds me of how Lily and I used to be. Well, Lily, but... It's nice.
It is nice having family, and I don't wish to be too forward with you. I will go at your pace, but know that I am truly happy to have met you, and I am loving the time I get to spend with you.
Rosabella feels her heart pick up a little bit as she just kind of, again, if she could bless, it would be even more now. She feels a little more flustered, and she just, well, I'm very glad that I met you, and that this just, thank you for choosing me.
I feel like you're the one that chose me, and he will take your paw and lay a kiss on the back of it and have a safe trip home.
Isabella just stares at him for a moment. And she just... I feel like I need to make a roll for this.
What are you thinking?
Okay, so there's a 50-50 chance of what she's going to do, okay?
So I would go
Okay.
ahead and roll a D100 or a D2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So D2 is flipping a coin, D100 gives you gradients.
Okay. Wow.
33. What's Rosabella thinking?
Well, I'm not sure if 33 should be the no. We'll go with no for right now. But she was contemplating. She is looking at his cheek. And, she kind of leaves a little bit, but then she panics and just...
So let's say 33 is a no, but you don't go through with the kiss, but you do put your cheek against his cheek.
Yes, and she kind of she kind of nuzzles a little bit, but then
Yes.
backs away, and her she just looks very flustered, and you in her head she's like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Yeah, he is, after you back away, the only thing you notice before heading off to the carriage is that he is kind of stiffened up a bit. That was shocking.
It was shocking for her too, okay?
Yep, and you kind of make a beeline dash for the carriage after that.
I like to imagine she gets to the carriage and it's just, I need to leave.
Yep. the footman tries to help you up, but you just ignore him and climb in yourself. So he folds up the step and closes the door.
Thank you!
Yep. Before he closes the door, you just hear, that went well. And then click. Before he climbs back into the back of the carriage and it takes off.
I just need y'all to know that I feel the fluster that Rosabella feels. My entire face is red. I feel really hot right now. I feel for her. I feel so much for her.
So yes, it will take another half hour to 45 minutes to return back to Pomeranian Manor, where Sebastian is going through his lists to set up the feat, and all the invitations have been sent out. What is Alexandria doing at this moment?
So here's the thing. I do like to. What time is it? What time of day is it currently? So normally Alexandria would be in her office going over paperwork, checking budgets, going through everything, also aiding Sebastian in like preparing for this. Right now, she is definitely like just in the foyer reading, trying to look like she's not waiting for Rosabella, but is just absolutely waiting for Rosabella to get home.
I would say there's probably some pacing going on too.
There's definitely some pacing. Like she's trying to play it off and like look out the window, but she's looked out the window like 15 times in the last 2 minutes. And she has not moved past a single page in this book.
Yep. As you are trying to read, pacing, looking out the window, pacing, trying to read, looking at the window, about this time, you do spot this garish carriage rolling down the driveway.
The real question is, Alexandria think it's garish. I'm gonna
Yes.
roll my own D. Okay, good. So it's so bad even she thinks it's garish.
Yeah,
good,
no,
good to know.
I mean, we're talking the medieval equivalent of the lady holding a sword riding a dragon mural on this thing.
Okay. So I think Alexandria just kind of quietly steps away from the window because she's not going to run out to meet Rosabella. She doesn't know if anyone's escorting Rosabella home. She is, however, going to look over to where Sebastian is kind of going through and preparing something. Just when she comes in, you are not going to say a word. That both of us have been waiting.
Yes, Mom. And he kind of ticks off another box, and he does kind of show you, like, it looks like he's been working on it, but it's like, I'm just counting every time that she says something about, we're not going to look like we're waiting for Rosabella.
And Alexandria just gives him, like, the dirtiest look, and she just... I have not asked that many times. Now I am going to make it look as casual as I can. I am going to go up those stairs. The minute she comes down, I'm going to happen to be on my way to the kitchens. And we are going to get absolutely every detail from her. I know that you are itching just as much as I am to know.
Yes, Mom.
And
Actually,
Alexandria just takes off, like, up those stairs.
yep, he doesn't even get to finish his sentence. All you hear after taking off up the stairs is Sebastian whistles.
Does it seems like he's whistling for anything specific? Oh, is he whistling just to be casual?
Nope. As you hear this whistling, you hear the pitter-patter of little feet running down the hallway.
Can Alexandria, like, slow for just a second on, like, that top step and look?
Yep, because rounding the corner like a bullet is Ollie.
I think Alexandria just kind of watches him start to go running down the stairs. I like to imagine he's, like, skipping steps, like, skittering over himself. And she just... I need to ask about that later. Just, like, mentally notating, when did Sebastian teach my son to respond to whistles? When was this worked out? We need to have a conversation. But she, like, gets to the top of the stairs. She's gonna, like, open her book back up and, like, very casually, quotation marks, like, put a hand on the, like, what's it called? The railing. There we go, like, the top of the railing.
The banister.
And just wait. Yeah, the banister, and just wait.
Yep. It's almost like they perfectly timed this. As soon as the carriage stops and the footman starts to open the door, Ollie has hit the final step, and Sebastian is throwing open the door. Everybody knows what's coming as Ollie shoots out the door and makes it to Rosabella by about the time she hits the ground.
And instantly, Rosabella has her arms, like, she kneels down and holds her arms open for him because that's her boy.
Yep.
And she just picks him up and just hugs him and is just, hello, sweetheart.
Did you have fun?
I did. I really did.
Oh, good. He kind of snuggles up into your fur, and you think he's going to start talking on because he takes a deep breath, and then you just hear the lightest snore.
Oh,
He was waiting up. He needs his nap.
my baby. My baby. Rosabella just softly just coos a little bit and just looks at the footman and just nods and just, thank you again.
He gives you a light bow and, have a pleasant evening, milady. And folds up the step, closes the door, opens up a side panel on the carriage, and pulls something out. I was instructed to give this to you before I dropped you off home, and he will hand you a package. Close the side panel and climb back onto the... I'm not sure what you call the seat, the step on the rear of the carriage that the footman rides on.
Uh-huh. I get it.
There's an... Yeah. I'm gonna look it up, but continue. I know it has a name.
Yeah, it has a name, I just don't know it. But yeah,
You can see Rosabella just like
It's
kind of raising an eyebrow at it.
It's it's literally just called the rear quarter, or there's if it's like specifically like the thing that sits over top of it, it's the apparently it's called a mud guard, but I don't think that's the right piece.
it might
But
be.
there's just a rear quarter.
Okay, rear quarter, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he climbs up on the rear quarter, just gives you a faint little nod, and drives off.
I like to think Rosabella kind of like is holding the package in one hand and holding Ollie with like tighter. That way she doesn't drop him and just kind of nuzzles her head against him as she's walking up to the front steps.
The package is fairly light but long. I would say it's maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 foot long.
Mm-hmm. So would it be easier under her arm?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's how she'll do it then. As she gets to the front steps and up them and to the door, she would probably look at Sebastian and just... So between you and I, how long was she waiting?
Allow me to take your clutch and your parasol, ma'am. And he just kind of takes them gently off of you without saying another word.
Rosabella just smiles at him and just, I see.
I like to imagine it's at this exact moment that Alexandria is like starting her descent down the stairs. Like that very polite, proper, like hand barely gliding over the rail, the book open in front of her, very practiced and prim and proper. She gets to the bottom step, sees Rosabella and just, oh, you're home already?
Actually, before you get to the bottom step, give me a balance check.
Oh no.
Keep.
It's fine. It's fine. Balance. Do. I should be okay at this. I'm okay at this.
You're okay at this.
You're okay at that.
You make the landing, but there's that one sickening moment as your foot is hovering in open air where you're focusing on the book, or trying to. So it's like, did I miss the step? Oh, nope, I got it.
I do like to imagine like her heart skips a beat. Like it's very like sudden and quick, and she just gives like a quiet little like just like it's so soft of just, oh, I did not just almost wipe out and die.
On the last step.
On the last step. And she'll just kind of like snap the book close, like take a moment, put the bookmark perfectly in, snap the book close, and just, oh, I was not expecting you back quite so quickly. How did it go?
Rosabella just smiles, that knowing smile at her, and just, it went really well. Should we go sit?
Absolutely. Sebastian, can you have the maids brew up a tea of some variety?
It is already prepared, Mum.
Thank you. I do want to be stated, Alexander asked Sebastian to make sure it was prepared like 2 hours ago. This is all for play. Like she was not planning. And she'll just kind of gently, like, Sebastian's taken the package, so she'll kind of loop her arm with Rosabella's and then peek over at Ollie and just, it appears that he has exhausted himself waiting.
Yeah. And she nuzzles the top of his head again.
And Alexander will kind of guide her into, I imagine, like the sitting room areas where it would have been prepared, not the official kitchen. I mean, well, dining room. And she will like politely like let go of Rosabella and kind of go over to her own chair. I imagine like the chairs have already been pulled out and they're pushed back in the minute the two of them sit.
Yeah, it's like a nice informal sitting room. So there's a few couches, a few love seats, probably some comfy armchairs.
Mm-hmm. I like to imagine them more at the armchairs by the fire, like the fire is going, it's nice and
Excellent.
warm. And she'll just, now, I expect you to tell me every single detail.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't be able to hide much.
I know, but still. And she'll kind of like lean forward, like gently take like her fingers and curl them, and then place her hands underneath her chin and just wait.
And we won't go full into it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Rosabella's just
all
gonna
of
go
it.
into the whole thing. Like
Mhm.
she doesn't spare anything, like to the point that she will like show her the bracelet that Maisie made her and tell her about the song that his mom played and all of that. Giggle about how his father came in with a small gun.
I do want to say, like, Alexandria is like smiling and giggling at all the right moments, and she's acting so calm and nonchalant. She's going to give herself happy tail again. Her tail is like going nuts behind her, like full force, kicking up a breeze. And at the end of it, she just, so you had fun then?
I did. You know, there was only few parts of that were awkward per se, but it wasn't necessarily awkward towards me. Poor Luke went through it.
Of course, but that's what family is good for, I hear.
Very true, very true. I will say though, his little sister Maisie, she before I left decided to be like, so when are y'all getting married?
She did not.
She absolutely did. It was the cutest thing ever. Poor Luke was so flustered. He was like, I haven't even asked her. I Maisie, and so I decided that I would tease him a little bit and lean down and just share a little secret with her and said, well, I guess that we just have to wait till he does, huh?
Rosabella?
What?
I did not expect you to play it coy. However, I am impressed.
I don't know. It's just, I never expected this of my life. And as she says that, she kind of turns and looks at Ollie, then looks at her, which I'm assuming at this point her and Alexandria are holding hands again. Um,
They
and
definitely
just
are.
kind of just looking at the whole situation and just, I really didn't expect this to be where my life ended, but I'm very happy that I'm here right now.
I think Alexandria's eyes just soften. Her tail begins to slow as her fingers curl in with Rosabella's, and she just squeezes her hand so gently.
At this point, you hear the unmistakable click of someone stepping away from a door.
Can Alexandria try to use her hearing? Whose footstep does it sound like?
Yep, you can absolutely give me a notice check. See if you can recognize who the footstep is.
You know what? Rosabella will too.
I'm gonna use a card. Hey! That's such an improvement.
Butler's prerogative. Sebastian was listening in, waiting for the tea to be brought.
He's like, when do I bring this in?
Yep.
When do I? This is not the time.
He waited until the story was finished to step back to bring the tea in.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
I think
he ends up bringing the tea on a nice silver tray with the cups, the sugar, the milk, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of orange peel, and he also brings the package with a letter opener.
Rosabella just looks at it, but looks back at Ollie because she is conflicted. She does not want to move.
I will go ahead and turn him into his bed, if you don't mind, ma'am.
Rosabella just looks conflicted for a second, but then just shakes her head and smiles at him. She like pulls Ollie out a little bit and just kind of kisses the top of his head and just,
He does
okay.
have a puppy whimper, as you do. And Sebastian will take him, cradle him very gently in his arms, And as he's walking out, you hear him in the barest of whispers, but it's still audible. Excellent work, young master.
No.
I really want to roll to see if Ollie was pretending for a little bit of
Oh
that.
no, he was out cold.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Because I was about to be like, I know at the end he probably was asleep, but like for that first part,
Did he just pretend to pass out? Did he do that kid like I don't want to be like walking out of the car? Just I'm asleep. I'm
No,
totally
he
asleep.
so he actually did stay up past his nap time, and he was
No.
just so tired waiting up for Rosabella. So once she got here, he spent all his energy running down the stairs, and it's just
thank God, thank man he made it to her, and then just pass out on the run. Isabella would have panicked.
But as Ollie's being carried out and Sebastian's footsteps begin to fade, I think she just gives another squeeze to Rosabella's hand before letting go and picking up her saucer. You know, I am proud of you. Truly.
You know, I can say the same thing about you and Frankie there.
Immediately, Alexandria's like, she's like midway to taking a sip of the tea and she just begins to choke.
Isabella just scrunches her nose, like, she scrunches her nose and she kind of giggles a little and just, hey, if I had to do with us talking about this, we're going to talk about you too, okay? A little bit? Because, like, I can't just have the focus all on me. You know how I am.
I absolutely know how you are, and I was about to be incredibly sweet. I will tell you about Frankie and I in due time. There's not much that you do not already know, nor do I believe that there is not much the maids have not already told you from what they have spotted.
You act as if the maids aren't listening in to every single conversation we are having. As Isabella just kind of turns to, like, because
there
you could
is
not
a
tell me
maid
that there is.
dusting a vase right now.
You've been dusting that vase for like 5 minutes already. I'm pretty sure it's dusting.
No, closer to about 15. She started before you got here.
Ah,
Yeah, she just kind of.
you could have just come over and sat down.
No, ma'am.
I know the ladies want to hear about it anyways.
We do, but there's decorum, ma'am.
Let them know, I'll tell them later.
Of course. And she will kind of hurry out.
I think Alexandria just gives like a little shake of her head and just... By any means, Rosabella. Do you see yourself sticking with him?
Yeah. I can actually, and that's the weird part.
It is
You
weird.
know, I never thought I'd have this.
Well, you do now, and nothing will take it away from you.
I think there's a moment where Rosabella's face kind of like droops for a sec, like not droop, but like her ears kind of like start to flatten, but she catches it real fast because at this point she doesn't know about her parents. So at the thought of like that Luke won't be able to meet her family aside from Lily, there is that moment where she thought of like that pops into her head because with going through family situations, like of course it's going to pop up for her.
Of course.
But she easily catches herself and just kind of shakes her head out of it and just, oh, wait till he has to have dinner with Lily.
Oh, Lily is absolutely going to rip him apart, and you wait until he joins our family in its entirety for dinner. But
oh God, can we just do both at the same time?
No, that's not how these things go.
I mean, technically y'all are my family, and y'all are the only ones he's not meeting, well, Anyways, it would be
Grandfather Rex will kill us.
At
Perhaps
about,
even Sebastian.
at about this point in time, there is a light knock on the door.
Hey Talon, can I just roll another little notice check?
Yep.
You know what? Yeah!
Nat 20.
You don't let Rosabella have that. Alexandria is like too focused
Yep.
in the moment.
So, this is... The knock is light, which means it's Sebastian. But there's a creak in the floorboards, which means somebody heavier is behind him.
Rosabella's ears kind of twitch a little bit, but she just, come in.
Sebastian opens the door, and you can see he is actually physically restraining a 45-pound ball of black fluff that is trying to jump in through the doorway.
Rosabella just raises an eyebrow at Rex and just, you're coming in?
Yes, if he finally ducks under Sebastian's hand and comes in. So, we were talking, and considering that we are throwing this feat, and the whole party and everything, and you're inviting your sister and the entire family, well, Sebastian kind of clears his throat as Rex turns to him. Apparently, someone has decided that they are going to spread the news, and it has turned into a noble block party.
I think Alexandria just slowly looks over at Sebastian. Just extended eye contact.
He lowers his head, but not like in contrition, and just looks daggers at the top of Rex's head.
Is he saying Rex did it?
Yep.
I think Alexandria, that her gaze was just so sharp on him, turns to Rex. Can I roll intimidation against my grandfather?
You can try.
I think her eyes like narrow slightly. Her eyebrow quirks up. I'm trying to find it. Where's my intimidation? I'm not a very scary dog. I'm a very scary dog!
But does it beat Rex?
Yeah, that's...
Does it be Rex? Oh no.
You know what? I'm gonna roll it for funsies. I'm gonna roll it for funsies. Hold on. Oh shoot. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna roll it for funsies because just Rosabella in general.
Do I at least impress my grandfather with
Oh,
the
yeah.
scariness of my eyes?
Oh yeah, no, you there's some impress there.
Good. He's like, yes, she's becoming head of the family. Nah, same, exact same. I match Rosabella for once in levels of scary.
I feel like for Rosabella though, it's more of her looking at him and raising her eyebrow a little bit and just
absolutely.
being like,
Yeah.
really?
For Rex and Rosabella, it's just, it comes naturally. You have that look. For Alexandria, she has to put the look on her face.
Yeah. So I think Alexandria just grandfather.
Well, I was talking to some friends in the Inquisition, and I might have mentioned that, well, with one of my granddaughters becoming the king, and one of my granddaughters taking over the household, and another one becoming a lord of his own area, and, well, let's just say that, I happen to be friends with Luke's grandfather, and one thing came to another, and, well, they've decided that we're just going to have a big family party.
That's
course.
completely
You know-
fine. But you understand the purpose of the feat.
I do indeed.
You understand the statement that the family is trying to make.
I do. This was not necessarily a decision I made. I was merely bragging to an old war friend of mine, and let's just say that I bragged to him, and he told his friends, and they told their friends, and let's
Right,
just
so here
say this happens.
it happens. Grandfather, I adore you. You are quite aware that I absolutely adore you, correct?
Yes.
Next time you do this, you and I are going to have a talk.
It's
Sebastian, we are now hosting 2 events in the same day.
no, we are not hosting the other ones.
Luke's family is hosting.
No, we will. So that was contrived to where we will be hosting Luke's family.
On the day of the feat.
Yes, they
When
have,
the
they have been officially invited.
grandfather,
He kind of sheepishly smiles, and apparently, the nobility that is on the side of your sister have decided that this is going to be Bayo Day.
right, and that is fine. I am more than happy for that. But you understand, this should have been ran through me
I
or
actually
brought
had
up.
no power over this. If one noble decides to throw a feat, you know how competitive the nobility can get.
I completely understand, and now you realize if we are hosting Luke's family, we must now make a statement, bare our teeth, as it were, politely, not with any ill intent. Sebastian,
Yes, Mum.
apologize to the staff for me in advance and have them continue preparations for the feast, but please also begin preparations to host another noble family.
These. Well, once I was told of the issue, I have taken the liberty of fining your grandfather a small amount, and I will be hiring extra staff for the temporary.
I think that is a wonderful idea, Sebastian. Grandfather?
He kind of sheepishly smiles up at you again.
I think Alexandria just sighs and just, on top of everything else, they deserve to have their own event, not to be combined with another.
They were going to
Next time,
throw their own, but then. Well,
let me speak.
Of course.
Next time that you begin to brag to your friends, which is fine. I do not mind in the slightest. And were we not hosting another event, I would still be frustrated, but it would be manageable. Next time you brag to them, you are going to take responsibility for whatever endeavor is happening. Sebastian, nor the maids will take the downfall of that work. And I adore you and I will not put you completely to work. I will find something for you to do. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
And I think that her gaze just softens. And she just, good, then the conversation is finished. We will handle it. I still love you. As much as I am realizing why you want to throttle us so much on occasion. But I think it will be for the best. I am dying to meet Luke, Rosabella. Well, I mean, more than I already have, a longer interaction.
I think Rosabella, this entire time, she's just remained very silent. There are moments where she's just kind of sighed, and just like her gaze at Rex is just kind of like,
He
I don't know how to describe it.
as you gaze at Rex, what was initially a contrite smile turns into a Cheshire grin as he is looking at Rosabella, hiding it as well as he can from Alexandria.
She just smiles and shakes her head, and just in her head, she's just, they're gonna enjoy this a lot. They're all gonna have fun. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be a time. She just, She sighs again and just turns away and just rubs at her temple.
I do like to imagine Alexandria has been quietly going on this entire time in the background with Sebastian, going through like the hours of which that she is expected to make an appearance with certain members of the family at the feat. What exactly needs prepared, who they're hiring. I like to imagine like it comes back like Rosabella's just like after that side, just all she hears is, right. I need you to find something out from Luke's family for me. We need to know preferences for meals. We need to know what exactly they are used to and unused to.
I'm Alexandria.
Right, yes.
You don't have to do too much.
Rosabella Pomeranian.
No, I understand. I understand. But they're his mother, father, sister. I didn't get to meet his grandfather. They're very relaxed. They'll just enjoy being able to spend time with us.
Of course. But I want it to be a good day for you as well, and Luke.
Then don't stress too much over it.
I will consider your opinion.
I want them to meet you a lot. I want them to meet all of you. But I want them to meet who you are, not being... This really is a bad time for this. She looks over at Rex and just raises an eyebrow at him again and just, I get what you did. I understand what you did. Man, have mercy on us.
I think what Rosabella is saying is we are both incredibly disappointed in your behavior.
I wouldn't say disappointed is what I am. She just kind of smiles at him.
I do understand, and it's not like this was an intended thing.
I understand.
You, as you said, you haven't met the you haven't met their grandfather. He is...
I've heard a bit.
He's more like me than they are like him.
Well, I'm sure you'll entertain him.
I do intend to, but I did... Well, they were intending on throwing their own party, but then they are short-staffed at the moment. So when they were talking... Yes, being as they are not as wealthy as some of the other nobility, they are... While they are friendly and don't have any outright enemies, they aren't also considered true nobility.
Isabel sits there for a minute and just... She kind of thinks about it for a second. I want her to say something, but I don't know how this will go over.
Go for it.
No. Go for it.
Rosabelle will kind of look at Sebastian and just... How much time do we have before this feat?
3 days.
3 days, Jesus. Okay, then that wouldn't work.
What are you thinking?
They're a very artistic family. Very artistic. Whether it is painting, wood, learning, or music, and landscape and such. I was just thinking if there's anything we could offer for them to, if they wanted to do, if they wanted to she just kind of shrinks a little bit as she's saying all this because she's not used to this.
And every single pair of eyes is on her.
She doesn't like that.
Intensely.
So her voice gets kind of soft, as she's saying all of it, her voice is getting soft as she's just like, if they wanted to help or anything, you know? But it's also only 3 days, and that's not a lot of time, and
Rosabella?
that was just a dumb that was a dumb idea. Never mind.
Rosabella Pomeranian? I have known you for, by the gods, by man, far too many years. I want you to look me in my eyes. That is not a dumb idea in any capacity. It is short notice, and it could be considered rude if we were to offer, or at least
know.
ask. But you are possibly marrying into the family, and it would be a good sign of, be a sign of goodwill between our two family units.
But it's also not enough time. It certainly is not enough time.
Well, it depends on what they have in progress currently, and if they'd be willing to take up a smaller project. Nothing grand or dramatic.
Thought if they'd want to participate, it'd be nice for y'all to see and
Well,
maybe get them out there, and they can get
of
money
course.
from that. And
Of course. Sebastian,
Yes,
are any of our runners currently home?
so I must actually inform you of the time scale of when this actually happened. But first, I was told, if you did not notice, there was a envelope attached to the top of your package that was addressed to me.
Oh,
Would you
she
please
looks
open your
anxious.
package now?
Yes, she grabs the envelope and just kind of holds it for him if it's because she's if it's for
the
him.
envelope's gone. He's
Oh,
already taken it
okay.
and read it.
She goes to open the package. She's like, I was intending to open it, and then, you all showed. Anyways, she's very flustered because she doesn't say anything like that. She's just going for it now, man.
Yep. As you open the package, it is delicately covered in a brown crepe paper with a ribbon on top. It is easily untied, and the crepe paper is not taped or glued in any way. It is just held by the string. As you open it, there is a small, thin wooden box. As you slide the lid off the wooden box, there is unmistakably a canvas in the box.
What's on the canvas?
As you pull it out and unroll it, there is first, as you lift it up, there is a clunk and a swish as a smaller piece of paper falls out. And it is unrolled into a basic design of a mural of what is lovingly entitled The Victory of Brianna and the reunion of the Pomeranian family.
Oh no, what's on the canvas?
It is with the landscape underneath and the symbolature and designs of the battle and quote-unquote battle and overtaking of Brianna rising to the throne.
Oh shit. Oh, Talon, that's so sick.
Isabella just smiles at it and just... Okay, you said something else fell out, right?
Yep.
The smaller paper?
Yep, a smaller paper and something made out of wood.
Okay, so she's gonna kind of I guess hand it to Alexandria so she can look at it better.
Yeah, Alexandria's already looking to, because you said it's the different with the landscape, the different members of the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's already looking. Where's Bayo? Where is she?
Yep,
Where's
you
Lily?
are all in position. You are all. Bayo is front and center. Alexandria is standing right by your side. Lily is in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's there, even Echo and Rex and
Oh.
the entire town. It's like a mob scene, but you can make out the key players.
Mm-hmm.
And the smaller piece of paper is a musical score to accompany the mural.
Oh shit.
Okay, and the wood?
The wooden thing turns out to be a small bust. It is about 1 inch, 1 inch tall, about 2 inches wide. And it is
Mm-hmm.
Bayo.
Oh. Rosabella just has this beautiful, like, grinning and just she is smiling so bright at everything. HP says there.
So
And she just
apparently, this offer was made about the time that Rex realized that you were getting closer to Luke.
she looks at Rex again.
And he has made an unofficial suggestion, but it was immediately turned down.
Oh?
Which can be asked again because he is no longer the head of the household. He asked if they wished to be absorbed into the Pomeranian family.
Very few families would agree to such matters. Well, I would be more than happy, Rosabella, if you are to be joining them, to have them as one of our own.
Oh, this feels like a big weight.
They did turn it down. However, they did say they will be part of the family once Luke marries Rosabella.
Rosabella
Well then,
smiles.
Rosabella, I must take a note from Luke's younger sister. How soon do you believe that you are going to get married? When is he going to propose?
Rosabella actually just kind of, I don't know.
I think Alexander is just gonna try and subtly like look over at Sebastian and make eye contact in the you need to be like have the maids listening around around like a Pugmire. Like I need the first bit of information when we find out anything.
He nods, and there will be. Let's just say that I will not spoil the surprise when it is spoken about, but
Oh yeah,
you will.
that was just all in the look. Yeah. And I think Alexander just kind of inclines her head slightly and just
Right. Well, as soon as he does, they are more than welcome to join with our family. Until then, we will politely not extend another offer.
Rex kind of
However,
actually looks cowed at this point.
Alexander looks directly at him again, narrows her eyes just a little.
anything else, grandfather?
Nope, that should be it.
Right. If you would stay with me after Rosabella turns in, I would love to have a chance to speak with you.
Of course.
Thank you. Rosabella?
Hmm?
May I say something to you that is perhaps premeditated and not quite the right time?
She kind of cocks her head to the side and just go for it.
Whenever Luke is to offer to take your hand in marriage, I already want you to know that my blessing has been given.
Her eyes soften a little bit. Thanks.
Alexandria will kind of incline her head, move to like pick up her tea, which is now grown cold. Take a nice long sip and just
Right. Now, is there anything else to the story?
Not to that, but we have received a letter from Mao.
From
immediately
Mao?
her ears perk forward.
Well, your etiquette's teacher from Mao has been decided.
Oh?
Yes. It shall be our good princess.
Rosabella smiles brightly.
Oh.
Ah. Wonderful, then. I'm game for that.
And with that, I shall leave you, and he actually grabs Rex by the ear and drags him out. He will be back for your conversation later. But for now, I have to, let's say, drill into him the importance of what he has done.
Thank you, Sebastian. I do not know what I would do without you.
Of course, Mom. And yeah, he drags Rex out of the room by the ear.
The second Alexandria is listening until his footsteps are so far away, and then she just looks at Rosabella and just starts softly laughing.
I believe that, though frustrating, worked out for the better.
Agreed.
Now you are looking
Although,
to plan your outfit
it
for that
doesn't
day.
surprise me.
It does not.
It's grandfather. Honestly, at this point, nothing surprises me with him.
Fair enough, you do reach a point where you just learn to expect the unexpected.
Yep.
But
And she'll just slowly settle down her saucer, stand up, cross around the table, and kind of wrap her arms around Rosabella's neck.
I did not get to say it earlier. However, I'm so happy to have you as part of the family. And I cannot wait to see who you become in a few more years.
Rosabella's breath hitches a little bit because, like, this has been a lot for her today.
It has been so
And
much
so-
for her.
She just kind of, like, her shoulders shake a little bit as she just kind of takes in a deep breath and lets it out and just hugs Alexandria back very tightly and just so happy I'm here and that we're here and that all this is happening. I just, she shakes her head and kind of nuzzles into Alexandria's like shoulder.
I think Alexandria just thoughtlessly, her fingers begin to kind of like move through Rosabella's fur.
One step at a time. I never thought that our family would become this. But I think it's for the better. We do still have one large battle ahead of us.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too worried about him proposing yet.
Have you informed him as to what we'll be doing?
Rosabella just kind of shakes her head. I didn't necessarily. We haven't had time, you know? It's been a lot of things. One night after the other. I guess I'll have to let him know sooner than later.
Do not inform him to the entirety of what we are doing. I have not let Frankie know. For now, it is safer for them to be unaware. At least
Very
as
true.
much as they can be.
And she'll kind of lean back and gently like take her paw and cup Rosabella's cheek.
But, you know, I have learned that I do not need to be fearful. I do not need to be scared. As long as I have a certain Great Pyrenees behind me.
Isabella just gives her a wobbly smile and just, yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually, having such a great Pyrenees behind me. Lily's really great, isn't she?
Alexandria just like pretend like it's like mocking where she like takes her other hand, rises it to her chest, and just
Not a Pomeranian. I've heard that they can be quite a terrifying breed.
Oh no,
Nelly is amazing.
well, having a great Pyrenees behind me is one thing. Having the Pomeranian beside me is another.
you just see like Alexandria, who is so good at keeping her emotions in. She's had years of training. You just see like tears beginning to gather in her eyes, and she just throws her arms back around Rosabella and pulls her tight. And I think that's where we can fade away.
Yep. And with that, I think we'll actually call it a little early tonight because there is some planning, and I think next session, if he is willing, Echo is going to have a major role.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
I believe it is about time for Laborator to show up.
That feels like a name we should recognize.
You absolutely should. But
I have no memory of this name.
they are the cult of Laborator. The laboratory
Oh, the rats. Yeah.
Because they
Oh,
were called
no.
in ages ago.
Oh no.
But yes, with that, good night, everyone, and thank you for watching.
good night, everyone!
All right.